Hey guys, welcome to Diecast. Today's model will be on the Exoto Ford GT40 Mark II. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to let you guys know that there is no original box for this model. I have bought this model intentionally used and loose. It's going to be an interesting one because I do like to fix up models once in a while, depending on the severity of the damages that it has. But yeah, let's get to this. So as you can see, I'm not wearing any gloves. And the reason behind that is I noticed that the car was very dirty and it definitely needed a quick rinse and a wax as well. I always wax my cars and I'll probably make a cleaning video one of these days for you guys. I was able to remove most of the styrofoam. I was hoping the car would have been sealed better to avoid this problem. I still have to take more styrofoam out. As you can see in the front bumper there's more styrofoam and who knows where else. Okay, so this is what we're fixing in the car. As you can see, the front has no headlights because that's supposed to be covered. So you can see a little bit of residue of some adhesive there. There used to be some race tape in that area, and that's what we're going to fix today. So here's the picture that I used for reference. I used the one that they had on the official website because it's so hard to find a good, decent picture that I can use as a reference. Okay, so the first thing that I did is I did a mock-up testing. And as you can see, the strips aren't even. I just wanted to see how it looks like on the model first because I am using some of my extra tape that I've used, as you can see here. So I am making a few strips. I think it works really well since it does match the tape that was used in the picture. So after a little bit of trial and error here, I was able to narrow it down to 3 millimeters thick per strip. As for the length, I was able to make long strips with those 3 millimeters, and then I would just cut off whatever I wouldn't use. Alright guys, so this is the finished product. I'm very happy with the outcome. There are a little bit of issues that I wasn't able to repair, but I want to say it's not that bad. The front really bugged me quite a bit, and I think that was a big accomplishment just because I did about 16 pieces of 3 millimeter thick strips, and it actually did take a while. I know it is easy, but I wanted to make it perfect, so I definitely took my time just to make sure everything looked exactly how I wanted it to be. Okay, so let's start this review. We'll start with the paint, and I have to say, even my wife thinks it's beautiful. And my wife's not a car person, but she does love colors of the car. So that's the first thing she noticed. She was like, oh, I love that color. And you know what? I couldn't agree more. I know you gotta agree with your wife, but yeah, I definitely agree with her on this one. So with the paint, minimal decals, but it just suits the car so well. So as we're moving to the front here, I love those hood pins. And of course, the hard labor that I've done. As you can see, it's pretty close to how it was supposed to be, if not perfect, but I think I want to give it a 9 out of 10 just because I'm not sure what kind of tape they used, but it's definitely looking like how it was supposed to be at this point. So there is one issue by the hood here. If you can see here as I zoom, there are those 3 paint rashes just by the hood pins there, just underneath that opening, just in between that opening and the bumper, if you can see that. So that's unfortunate. And then the other issue is, if you see that metal piece by that opening, you're just right on top of the right hood pin. I'm just going to point it out for you guys here. Yeah, that one right there. So if you can see, there's nothing on the other side. So I was supposed to fix that issue, but I just felt like I'm not sure where I'm going to find that piece for now. It does take me a while to replicate and find things that are similar to it. So that's going to be an issue, but I think that's going to be fun. And when I do find the piece, I'll definitely put it as a video, and I'll definitely share it to you guys. Okay, so now as we pan out on the other side, basically the details are all the same. It just doesn't have the P. And there is another issue on this side, which I'll point out. It's going to be at the top by the door there. There should be a little piece that sort of protects the door. And unfortunately, that has cracked off. And that's a difficult one to replicate. So I might not be able to fix that part just because I don't believe there's any spare parts that I could grab from. It's very specific. The only thing that I can think of is 3D print it, but that's going to be a difficult part. So far, those are the only ones that I could physically see that is damaged on the car. Aside from those issues, I would like to say that the car is still in great shape. It's not mint, but I think it's a good representation. If you want to buy something cheaper, if there's a missing part and you just wanted to check out the model, I think it's definitely worth the buy. And even better if you can fix it yourself. And as we pan out on the tail end of the car, we are going to see something that I definitely love about Exoto, and it gives you a little bit of a hint of what's to expect as soon as we open the interior of the car. So it's the beautiful details. First of all, on those exhausts, it's a through and through exhaust. It's not a fake exhaust where it's just a piece of plastic. It's actually metal. And then you look at the details on the taillights and the grille, the AN fittings. Okay, so one thing that I want to point out is, if you can see in the mirror there on my base display, you can actually see more of what's to come. So if you can see the AN fittings, that's my only thing. I wish they would have made it some anodized color. So anodized red and anodized blue, just to make it a little bit more realistic. But aside from that color choice, I think they did a fantastic job. Aside from that complaint, I still give it a 10 out of 10. It was very well replicated. And now let's explore the bottom of the car. So we do see more AN fittings, we see more pipes, we see more suspension detail, and the rest of it is basically just that panel base for the diecast model. But the one thing that I noticed upon picking up the car is that suspension, both front and rear, actually are working suspension. Unfortunately, it is a little bit hard to show on video. I did take a video of it, but you could barely see the suspension move. And let's move to the interior of the car, and I am absolutely blown away. The attention to detail that they did in manufacturing the car is beyond my expectation. If you just look and appreciate at those details, it's absolutely stunning. Now we approach the interior of that driver's side. Yes, this is right-hand drive, because since it's a race car, they actually take more right turns than left turns. So that's a huge advantage on having it on the right side. Anyways, now we go back to the car. So look at the gauge cluster there. It's absolutely so detailed. The gear lever, you can see the pedals there, the steering wheel, even the decal on the steering wheel. Even if you look on the door there, there's the brown strap to reduce weight. Okay, so now we're gonna pan it on the corner here, and I'm gonna try to zoom in for you. We'll see more detail on the car. Like if you look at those tires, they are amazingly detailed. I'm not even surprised if those rain tires are actually the exact tread for that specific car. And we see more AN fittings, we see more piping, we see that orange air duct that goes to the brakes. Alright, now to the front of the car. So I had to take the hood pins off of here to show you guys that that part also opens up. And there you have it, just making sure I'm using gloves because I did clean the car already at this point in time. Okay, so in the other side of the car, I feel like I need to show you guys more detail, and my camera angle isn't sufficient to show the detail that's in the car, so we're gonna change it up a bit here. Now we're finally in a better view where we can actually see more detail of the car. Before we talk about the center portion there, I just want to quickly mention, if you look on the wheel well, just on the inner side, you see some orange wiring there? Yes, that's the wiring for the lights. I can't believe how much detail they did in there. So I'm gonna do a quick zoom in for you. I'm gonna try to clear it up for you too. Yeah, there you go, that's better. Definitely an attention to detail and perfection. And now let's quickly take a look at the details in the front. There's more wiring, there's more AN fittings, and I see more of the orange detail from the ducts. Now as we pan to the interior left-hand side of the vehicle, we are going to see something really cool here. Just right in front of the seat, as you can see, I'm going to zoom in for you here. There's going to be a battery right there. That's a great added detail. Now we pan to the engine bay side at the rear. Let's take a closer look at that rear engine bay. It's amazing how much detail there is. Yeah, let's pan out a little bit on the side there. And yeah, if you actually see up top, more detail up there. The piping, very intricate. If you look at those two sets there, those are actually tiny springs that are connected to each other. That is the attention of detail that you get with these models. It's absolutely amazing. And again, there's more wiring at the back of the car, as shown here. Yeah, those orange wiring right there at the right hand side, and there are also cables attached to it, as I believe a support when you open the rear compartment for the engine bay. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It definitely helps me make more videos like these and create more content. Have a good one. See you in the next video.